Sunday, the return to glory. It's time to kick off.
He will score!
Tip-off.
Way downtown, bang! Bang!
Or tee-off.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
On Sunday Huddle with Colin Russo. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Kicking off your morning with a little Sunday Huddle presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3. Got to get to sports today, underrated sports day. Welcome on into your Sunday programming up until 11 a.m. It is Colin Russo and Cade Chelmsford. It's Sunday Huddle presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, ESPN West Palm. All those great spots, ESPN West Palm, ESPN South Florida on YouTube. And also on our golf YouTube today, too, huh, Kate? Our for YouTube?
Yeah, for Palm Beach, our solely golf YouTube channel, going to be pushing a lot of stuff this summer when school's out and the weather's nice, weather's hot. Everyone can go out and play. A lot of evening golf. Love playing in the evening in Florida when it's nice and cool, like 4:30 tee times. So we'll be posting a lot of content for Palm Beach. We're live right there right now. Go subscribe.
There it is. So you got that. You got the Masters Sunday. Yesterday, in terms of Masters Saturday, was one of the better Masters Saturdays you could find. I mean, let me tell you that. I mean, first of all, as star-studded of the leaderboard as you could possibly look for. Going into yesterday, the big theme was Rory got a 6-shot lead through, 36 holes. We were worried that he was going to run away with this. One of the largest leads in Masters history. I believe the largest lead in Masters history through 2 rounds. And we were all rooting for the same thing. Rory needed he needed a bad round. He did not need a great round. And that's exactly what we got. So Rory not having a good round yesterday. He shot a 73. I know that's still serviceable, but we didn't need him shooting in the 60s again. And shooting a 73 helped the rest of the crowd, and everybody else played great. Perfect conditions yesterday, and people were tearing up the course. Cam Young, 8 birdies yesterday, was unbelievable throughout the entire round, especially after getting himself out of trouble on his tee shots. Scotty Scheffler, went early. But he also firmly there in the mix, sitting at 7 under, entering Masters Sunday. You got a lot of big-time guys who are right here in the mix. Shane Lowry had a hole-in-one yesterday on 6, which was awesome to see. So you saw a little hole-in-one action. He's back and forth to the second 9 there. But Lowry right there sitting at 9 under. And Sam Burns, who played with McIlroy yesterday, who has probably been more of the unfazed of the bunch, hasn't been trying to save the city, hasn't necessarily gotten too far to the comfort zone. But because of that, he doesn't have a lot of bogeys. He doesn't have a lot of screw-ups. He's played safe throughout. He has gotten himself out of trouble when he is in trouble. And he is sitting there right alongside Cam Young and Rory at 10 under. It's going to be a great Masters Sunday. Can Rory repeat? Rory, to put a little stats to it if you're curious, Rory's drive accuracy, where everybody else, most in the leaderboard, high 60s, mid 70s, 80s. Cam Young's accuracy, for example, is 88%. Rory, 50, which is the 3rd lowest amongst anybody in the leaderboards at the Masters. His driving has been absolutely terrible. And it wasn't even great last year. Remember when he entered in with the big lead last year, trying to keep everybody at bay? It was him getting himself out of trouble and surviving every hole. That was the feel and the theme of Rory's round on Sunday last year. And you almost felt that yesterday. He bogeyed 1, and then he turns around and he escapes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Escapes every single one. Big-time putts, bunker, off the fairway, tough second shot. He's in the trees, just hanging out with the fans. There was a lot of that. You got the feel that he was trying to survive every single hole, and then it eventually came up to burn him once he just entered the second 9 yesterday. Because 10, 11, and 12, birdied 10, got to 11. That's where the double bogey came in, and then he bogeyed right then after on 12. So he circled around a little bit, but ultimately, a couple missed putts here and there, missed opportunities, and bad tee shots have been the plague of Rory McIlroy's game, and he's going to have a lot to figure out today if he wants to get a win again and defend his championship at the Masters. Justin Rose sitting there firmly, also within the leaderboard as well. He's always going to be in the mix, 8 under. He had an unbelievable round last year. Hao Tong Lee, who had an excellent early start to the round, did not have a good finish to the round with a bogey on 3 of his last 6 holes. But he is somebody who is, first of all, one of the best personalities in golf, and second of all, sitting at 7 under, so firmly in the mix there. Patrick Cantlay quietly did 6 under yesterday. He's sitting at 6 under as well. As well did Russell Henley, who shot a 66 yesterday as well. So you had a number of 65s in Scotty Scheffler and Cam Young, couple 66s. Rory McIlroy. Let's put it into perspective. Of the top 10 currently in the mix right now, there's about 11 golfers at the top of the leaderboard. Only 2 of them yesterday shot in the 70s. And it was Rory and it was Patrick Reed. Everybody else had a great round. So as good of a Masters Saturday as you could find. We'll break down all the storylines going into it. Cade, Masters Saturday, as good as it gets. What were your impressions?
Oh, it was incredible. I glued to my computer screen as I was in my living room. When Rory birdied 10, it felt like, all right, this is it. He has smoked the second 9 each of the first 2 days. I believe 12
escaped a lot of holes.
12 and in the first 2 days, he was 9 under total par. This is his wheelhouse. And then he birdies 10. So you're like, all right, well, so much for whatever comeback anyone else had. And then that water ball happens on 11, which if you guys haven't been watching, if you don't know the holes at Augusta that well, 11 is a massive par 4. The fairway goes over a giant hill, and the green, basically, it's long and narrow, but there's water on the left and nothing on the right. So essentially, all you have to do is either hit the green or miss way right, get up and down. The pin was at the very front, pretty close to the edge of the water, and Rory, who was a long ways out, people don't realize the tee shot for Rory on 11 yesterday hits a tree and miraculously bounces back into the fairway, but it's not very far up. He has about 225 yards into this green, which is notoriously one of the hardest greens to hit on the entire golf course. He tries flirting with danger and goes straight into the water, ends up making double on a lip-out bogey putt. It was one of the rare mental miscues from Rory McIlroy. We see him flare shots. He hasn't hit a driver all week. But to mentally say in that position after a rough drive to say, I want to attack this pin, was wild to see.
Should have survived the hole. You got to survive the hole.
100%. You saw other guys who, Shane Lowry literally hit it into the trees, had to do a punch out, and he made the smart play of flaring it out to the right, getting up and down for bogey. Rory makes double, and the rest of the field, everyone's ears started perking. And it's great, too. At the Masters, when you don't have a phone, you have to wait for the leaderboards to all update manually throughout the course. Those moments are great when you hear random crowds start cheering for when they get their own leaderboard updates wherever they're at on the course. But in that moment, I realized, okay, this isn't going to be the normal second 9 for Rory. Because as much as it is to come back from a double bogey, he's not going to come back from this double bogey the way his driver and irons were. He pulls the next shot on 12 and makes another bogey. His game was not where it needed to be to go on another 6 birdies last 7 holes.
Right.
So it was only how much of his lead can he get back, because he lost it to Cameron Young somewhere in that second 9. And then is he going to get any sort of momentum going into Sunday, which he did. He had a good couple. I think he birdied 14 and 15, as well as parring out the rest. So
yeah, it was
he felt okay.
It was on 13 that Cam Young stole that, or Rory's 13, because he parred the hole. It's an important hole. 13 and 15 are both important holes because they're par 5s. You got to birdie your par 5s if you want to win this tournament.
Correct.
And birdie parred it. And Rory parred it. And right then and there, that was when you were thinking, all right, now Cam Young's in the mix. Now Rory responded, got another birdie left on the round, was able to kind of keep himself afloat. But you got to take advantage of your par 5s. So what you're saying is interesting. Rory was the first 9. He survived.
Correct.
There was a lot of bad tee shots all around, and he was with the fans more than he wasn't. That's what you need to know, right? He was checking it out. Where'd that ball go? Hitting trees, yada yada yada. That was Rory's round, and he got a little cute there when you're around water. 11's killed people all tournament. It kills Asti Shambo, and you get burned. But that's good because as a golf fan, I was rooting for that.
100%.
You're rooting for that.
You're not. It's one of those rare circumstances where you're not rooting for someone's downfall. It's not like a team sport where you're cheering for a rival. These are all people.
You're rooting for the field to catch up.
Correct. You're rooting for an excellent round where Rory has something to play for, because what we didn't want to see was this round from Rory today, and he wins by 1 stroke. You didn't want him to kind of just limp his way into the final hole because he knew he already had it in the bag. You wanted him to actually go out. You want these guys to attack this golf course. This is going to be a insane second 9 when guys are going to have to attack pins. I'm curious, do you know where 16 is today?
I do not. I haven't checked those.
Got changed last year because it's usually in the bowl where you can just, so 16, a par 3, only about 140 yards, maybe 60 yards.
Important birdie hole if they place the pin correct in a good spot.
But it was different last year. It was in a tough spot last year. It wasn't that like good tee shot where you can come down the slope with it. So I'm curious to see where 16 is. You always got to look for the par 5s. You always got to look for Amen Corner. This is going to be one of the most insane rounds of golf. We talked about it on Russo and Rizzo on Friday. Last year's Masters Sunday compared to where it was on the calendar year of sports. If this is as good as the last 3 days have been with the stacked leaderboard, we're going to be talking about this exact same Masters Sunday in 2027.
Yeah, if you're lucky, here's what you got to root for. Last year, obviously, it was Justin Rose having an unbelievable round. Rory trying to stay above water. He didn't even play a great round last year on Sunday, and it was him surviving. And it was everybody catching up. You wondered if it would be DeChambeau. DeChambeau kind of blew up, and it was Justin Rose who came out of nowhere and challenged Rory. And Justin Rose finished 35 minutes before Rory did. So this year, the goal is you're going to have a couple guys in the mix. Cam Young, Captain America, by the way. Cam Young, right in the firmly, you're going to be playing with Rory. So you got to hope that after shooting a 65 yesterday, it doesn't come back down to reality a little bit. That's what you're a little nervous about. Played too well yesterday. Can you respond and play well again? But everybody else, Sam Burns, he's going to be playing with Shane Lowry today. That was a safe round yesterday. A safe 68. He was calm, cool, collected. When Rory was figuring out his own crap.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Burns was calm, cool, collected the entire way. Don't be a hero. That was Sam Burns' round.
Very easy to play, not down to your competition, but when someone else is struggling in the group, very easy to also let yourself slip.
Yeah.
And he was rock solid the entire second 9.
Quietly, I was very impressed with Sam Burns yesterday.
100%.
Sam Burns did a great job yesterday. Scheffler is now actually is away from the morning shift and the late shift, so he's actually be playing with everybody else, which is interesting because he hasn't necessarily been matched up with anybody throughout this entire tournament. So that'll be interesting. He's playing with Hao Tong Lee at 152. His tee off on 1 is going to be. But Scheffler is another interesting one. Quietly, again, because he finished a lot earlier than everybody else, 65. He's always been a second half of the tournament demon the entire season. That's somebody that very easily could birdie, 3 of their first 8 holes, and all of a sudden they're firmly in the mix before these guys even get going, So that's somebody that, I, of course, have to keep an eye on. Justin Rose knows this tournament. He shot a 70, 69, 69. He's been consistent. He hasn't necessarily blown up in any way. I think that's probably his theme. He's always in the mix in this tournament. He's a great player at Augusta. And Jason Day quietly. How about that?
Oh, that was the guy I was cheering for yesterday. I wanted him to birdie everything. He had 3 in a row on that back 9. Jason Day is one who is so due for this tournament.
4 in a row. 4 in a row.
4 in a row, yeah. He's so due for this tournament. I wish he was a little bit closer, but 3 shots is nothing to sneeze at when you're in Augusta.
A lot of pressure for Rory here. A lot of pressure. I know he talked about it yesterday when he was with his media availability, basically saying, listen, I have the green jacket, so the pressure around it is a lot worse last year than he is this year. He's right, but there's a level, obviously everybody knows the second that we hit that second 9 on Sunday, it doesn't matter if you've been here before. This is where the pressure kind of presides. So you want to be the guy that's a chaser and not the guy who's, getting chased. That's where you get nervous about. You got to be a different type of mental, I guess, you have to have a fortress of a mental game to be able to handle that, especially at Augusta on the second 9, I should say.
The thing is, though, he is talking about not having as much pressure because you're going for the Grand Slam.
Right.
But this tournament, if he goes on to lose, would be a historic choke job because he had the largest lead going into Saturday.
6 shots?
So we could have back-to-back tournaments of historically great performances from Rory to an historically bad performance after this choke job. I think the pressure is still immensely on him today.
That's a good point. And just because he blew it on Saturday doesn't mean that you can't blame him on Sunday. So, this is not necessarily a Sunday collapse. I'm not going to throw out the word collapse yesterday because ultimately Rory, especially in his last couple holes where you thought this could really get out of hand, he birdied 14, birdied 15, which is an important hole because he birdied the par 5. He parred 13 because parring 13 as a par 5 is bad news. You don't want to par 13.
Yep.
And so all of a sudden he had a double bogey on 11, he had a bogey on 12, and he parred 13, which is essentially a bogey in Masters terms. Then you're thinking, oh boy, Rory's not, he's not in a good spot. But then he birdies 2 in a row on 14 and 15, which was important. So, and I believe he missed I have to double check. He had a good second shot on 16.
That's the par 3. He was down below.
Yeah, he was down below.
He had a long putt on 16. He had a long putt on 17. It was...
Yeah, he had a long putt. That's right. It wasn't a good putt. So
it was kind of just get to the clubhouse.
Right. And then 17 was the same way, and then that's when he missed the putt on 17, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, because he bogeyed 17.
He bogeyed 17. That was the rim out. That was right there. Yeah. Yeah, but Roy said it was a fascinating round to watch. Truly was. It was a good it was a great Masters Saturday. And I guess the question now resides in who we would rather, if we're entering the last 35 minutes of the Masters, who do we want as our leaders? We're going to talk about that as we continue on the program here. But first, we're presented by Hard Rock Bet. Go download the Hard Rock Bet app today, and you can bet on just about anything. Bet on your winners. Bet on game by game in the MLB. Bet on game by game the NBA. The last game of the NBA regular season. Last day, I should say. You got a lot. Very underrated sports day. Very underrated sports day. Because you get the NBA, you get the play-in this week for the NBA, and then you get the playoffs starting up this Saturday. Last day of the NBA regular season. You got, of course, the Stanley Cup around the corner. The NCAA, Frozen Four championship was yesterday, and Wisconsin blew it. Shocker. But that was against Denver. That was actually a very, very good game. A very good third set. Third period. But speaking of sets, right now you get the Monte Carlo final. First time if you're a tennis fan. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner playing for the first time since the U.S. Open back in 2025 in September. And it's, just so you know, it's 6-5 first set Sinner with an advantage in that 12th game. So that's going to be a tie break. Goes to show that first time these two have played all year. And fun fact, you want to know how good these two are? They have played 3,200 points in their 16 head-to-heads in their career. Points apiece heading into today, 1651 apiece. So that's
even.
Oh,
my.
That's not games, that's points.
Yeah.
So 1651 a piece going in. They both have 26 titles. They both have had 66 weeks at number 1, and now they're playing today in Monte Carlo on clay courts, which favors Alcaraz. So Sinner and Alcaraz going at it right now. I'll keep you updated there. It's on the Tennis Channel if you're interested and you're a tennis fan today. But how about that? That's as unbelievable. I saw that yesterday. It's unbelievable of a stat I've ever seen. It just the level of it's like Duke UNC level of even. But nonetheless, Cade Chums and Colin Russo. Download that Hard Rock Bet app today. Bet on anything. Bet on Sinner or Alcaraz. Bet on the Masters. Bet on the NBA postseason. If you like a champion, you like game by game here. It's going to be a lot of fun here pretty soon. Refer a friend, get $50 into the app that you can deposit into your account. It is that easy, that fun. All these offers that Hard Rock Bet has are payable in bonus bets, not cash offers. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus. Physically present in front of the wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're somebody who knows a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Colin Russo, Cade Chums, and it's Sunday Huddle presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Ugh, water spots on the shower door again.
He sprayed, he scrubbed, he squeegeed.
What? Is that a word?
He's tried pretending not to see it.
Didn't work.
Now he wants answers.
I'm calling Culligan. They'll test my water for free and recommend a solution to fix hard water throughout the whole house.
Because some battles shouldn't be fought alone.
Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire with the largest inventories, expert technicians, and a best price out the door every day, guaranteed you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
It's time to step into kindergarten with the School District of Palm Beach County. Parents, we're ready to educate, affirm, and inspire your child in a nurturing learning environment. Register now at palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten. Find out when to attend your school's kindergarten kickoff, or your family can meet teachers, tour the school, and receive a free kindergarten readiness kit.
The School District of Palm Beach County is your best choice.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSIsYes.com today.
631 smash, F-Track sneak on one alert. The smash on one. Ready?
This is Sunday Huddle with Colin Russo, presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Getting a little bit of a fender bender on your Sunday drive. You don't know who to call. Who's going to defend me? That's where Anajar and Levine accident attorneys come in, because they cover car accidents, truck accidents, slip and falls. Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine will fight for you, and they don't even get paid unless you do. Call Anajar and Levine for a free consultation today. You can't settle for just anybody. You got to go get the best, demand the best. Go demand Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call, take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's Colin Russo, Kate Chumsett. It's Sunday Huddle, presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3. A lot of good stuff going on right now. Good sports Sunday, Masters Sunday, last day of the NBA regular season. MLB in full force right now. Monte Carlo final, it's in a tie break, and it's 3-2 Sinner over Alcaraz in the tie break in the first set in a Masters 1000 tournament in Monte Carlo, Monaco. So, I mean, geez. I mean, that's the first time these two have played in 8 months, and it's number 1 and 2 in the world. So if you're a tennis fan in South Florida, you want to get your fix on, go over to the Tennis Channel right now, because this is as good as it gets right now, 3-2. Kate Chubbs and Colin Russo. Here's what you need to know. Cam Young and Rory McIlroy sitting at 11 under. Sam Burns 10 under. Shane Lowry 9 under. And then after that, we got a little bit more of a bulk of the crowd, and Jason Day and Justin Rose at 8 under apiece, and then Scotty Scheffler and Haotong Li at 7 under. Those are your primary, top 8 guys that are going to be in the mix today. Obviously, barring somebody having a huge round today on Masters Sunday. Now, Cam Young, Rory McIlroy, we remember last year was Bryson DeChambeau and Rory. And, Kate, you said an interesting point about, how DeChambeau not having necessarily a great round sort of helped Rory's round in a lot of ways. Today, with both these guys at 11 under apiece, having wildly different rounds yesterday, Rory shooting a 73 and Cam Young shooting a 65, it's going to be important that you get a similar punch from either of them heading into this final round. You agree?
Correct. You need them pushing each other. You can't have one choking and then the other kind of cruising. One, because that's just not good golf, and we want to see good golf today. And two, the rest of the field's going to catch up to you. There is pressure not just from the two in the final pairing, but from the rest of this field as well because it's so stacked. Last year, Rory had a 2-shot lead going into the final round with just Bryson. Bryson chokes. Now, Rory doubles the first hole and ties it up at the first hole, but that didn't really necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things. Bryson chokes. Rory cruises. Rory ends up shooting a bad round in his standards. Justin Rose comes back, and we have the playoff. That one was a tough round because while Justin's comeback was great, we didn't love seeing bad golf in the final round. We want to see great golf. We want to see these guys birdie the par 5 second. We want to see one of them birdie the par 4 third. We want to see one of these guys attack the par 3-6 like Shane Lowry did with his hole-in-one yesterday. We're going to see guys try to go for this par 5 eighth. We want birdies in the front 9. That way, scoring has to happen in the second 9.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because they're going to play it out like they're almost feeling each other out. You know what I mean? Who's going to make the first mistake? I think that's going to be your theme, especially with those two, is, all right, who's going to be that guy who's going to, bogey 1 or 2 or bogey 3 or something like that? Who's going to be the guy? It's not going to be me, and they're just, that's the way they're going to play. And then once that first scoring moment happens, for better or worse, that's when I think everything else opens up. As for everybody else, so let's play this out, Cabe. Last 4 holes, we're talking about later today, 6 o'clock. And you could have 4 guys of these top, 10 or 12 be firmly in the mix within a stroke or 2 of the lead. Who is the 4 you would like to have right there?
Besides those in the final group. Or including those?
Including those.
Okay, so I want I want Young and McIlroy to be there. I want a final pairing where these guys are going for each other's throats.
So add 2 to that.
At the end. I want to see... Oh, that's tough. Okay, I want to see Justin Rose there because I think he's the one guy who can
talk about someone who's due
at the end.
Talk about somebody who's due. He's not unafraid.
And then selfishly, I do want to see Jason Day there. The other one is Shane Lowry because he's another guy who can score at will. He's another guy who's due at the Masters. He's the only guy in Masters history with 2 hole-in-ones in his career. But Jason Day has been one of those silent warriors of golf. He's playing in his 15th straight Masters without a win. And he was one of those guys where, again, like Rory McIlroy, kind of had his heyday in the early 2010s and then really has been quiet since then. And now he's playing some of his best golf. He had this complete wardrobe change where he's now doing the visor and baggy pants gear, and he's playing great golf. Jason Day is one of those guys where you just love him as a person. You love him as a player. I would love to see him in the mix here today.
How Tong Lee, I'd love to see. I just want to see that post-match.
He's so fun.
So funny. So funny. And he had he had stomach issues all day yesterday, which is part of the reason why, I believe that was the case. So that was not good for him. And
they went in the water twice yesterday on 13 and 15.
That was a survival of a round. So maybe he could learn to attack this a little bit and see what happens. But I mean, like, selfishly, you'd like to see Scheffler there, but to be honest with you, I don't think Scheffler deserves it. I know he had a great round yesterday, but 74 round 2. I don't necessarily need to see him there. If there's guys that are going to be playing well in high leverage spots, I'm cool with that. I like having one defending champion and a bunch of wolves trying to get their chance at it. So Cam Young, absolutely, that guy is Captain America. I actually agree with the Justin Rose shout. Now, I'm not as high on Jason Day as you are. Give me Hao Tong Lee there. You kidding me? Give me Hao Tong Lee.
Yeah.
Hao Tong Lee, Justin Rose, Cam Young, and Rory McIlroy. That's what we need. That is what we need.
But I think you're right with the number of players you'd like to see there. You want to see 4 guys.
4. Nothing
attacking.
more. More is maybe too much. But 4 would be great. 4 would be great.
What do you think the last great Masters Sunday besides last year was? Maybe 2019 would be the last great Masters Sunday.
I'd have to go through every single one. The most memorable one is by far 2019.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I can tell you that real quick. So 2024, Scheffler again, runaway.
Yep.
John Rahm, I think, wasn't a runaway, but I think he won by at least 2 or 3 shots there at the end, or at least came into the last hole with a 1 or 2 shot lead. And then 2023, Scheffler again. 2022, I believe, was the Matsuyama year.
Yep.
Or no. 2023, Rom. 2022, Scheffler again. That was a runaway. That was like a 6-shot lead heading into the second 9. Then 2021 was Matsuyama. 2020 was the November Masters with DJ. That's the best scoring round at the Masters ever because you played in the fall instead of the spring.
Didn't feel normal.
And then you had 2019. I think 2019 has been the best Masters, especially on the best Masters Sunday, since what could be today. In that particular Masters, 2019, I believe there were 3 people tied for second: Cantley, Molinari, and Koepka, or DJ, one of the 2. But you had 4 guys at least, maybe 5 or 6, were attacking Tiger that day.
Yeah.
And that was an insane Masters Sunday. And it was an earlier Masters Sunday because there was rain coming in the evening, so they bumped it up to like a 9 o'clock tee time. And so you had to watch it in the morning. But that Masters Sunday was so intense because not only did you have scoring with Tiger birdieing the 16th, and I think he also birdied the 15th, but you had also chokes. Cantley came in, shot like 8 under the last day or something ridiculous. Koepka was right there at the end. So many guys that Masters Sunday. You could see a very, very similar thing today where you see the scoring, you see the choking, and a 3-way tie for second could be very well in play today.
Another memorable one was the Danny Willett year with Spieth going into Masters Sunday with the quadruple bogey on 12. That was a famous one. I remember that one. I remember like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? That second 9 had just basically the moment got too big.
2016, I believe.
2016, it was the year because he won in 2015.
2017, you had the Sergio year. Another playoff with Justin Rose.
That's right.
We've had some big ones.
Yeah, and Rose is always in the mix here. That's fun. They were showing it during the broadcast yesterday. Basically showing how many top 5 finishes that Rose has basically every single time he comes out here.
Well, and the thing is too, they also put the runner-up's name on the trophy. They put the winner and the runner-up, and his name is on there 3 different times in the runner-up slot.
Talk about somebody who's due. I mean, geez, there's got to be a year where he breaks through. But especially for playing this well at this age for Justin Rose. So if I were to draw up, a 4 group that I could have there, to finish off this Masters Sunday, Cam Young, Rory McIlroy. I love Hao Tong Lee, so I'm rooting for him. And then I think Justin Rose. I think Justin Rose is an excellent Masters player. I think he's due. I don't think anybody would be pissed if he won. If he comes out and wins this, I don't think anybody would be upset. This is somebody who's definitely earned it.
Another image that I can see today that I would love to see is either Sam Burns or Shane Lowry birdieing 18 to tie or take the lead, because then you have McIlroy and Young in the fairway watching that happen.
Right.
That would be great if you had the second to last group have a run on 18 when all of the
let's play that.
Patriots
Let's say they're 12 under. Rory and Cam Young are both like 12 under, something like that, and Sam Burns at 11 under, birdies 18 or something like that to just stay in the mix, and know that somebody's gonna have to score on the hole.
Correct.
If they wanted to win, that'd be great. I agree with that. Thoroughly agree. But anybody outside the top 12 that you could see make a sneaky run?
Patrick Cantley. I mean, you think about where he's been. 77 on the first day.
Yeah.
He's come back with 67, 66, and he's in the top 10.
Such a strange player.
And this man can score on Sundays. So Cantley making an insane run would be awesome. And then obviously you have some of the other big names: Schauffele, Brooks Koepka. There's a slew of guys at 4 under. Where do you think the cutoff is of guys who are legitimately in this race?
I don't think guys at 4 under can do it.
I don't think guys at 6 under can do it. I think someone in the top 4 is shooting.
Yeah, I don't love the guys at 6 under. I don't think Russell Henley's not shooting a 66 again. You know what I mean?
No, I think Cantley can. That's why I brought him up. But I completely agree. Patrick Reed is done. He blew up yesterday.
Yeah.
He can go low, but he won't go.
Morikawa's quietly played very well at 5 under, but again, you need a 65, 66 if you want to be in the mix today. You need a 65, 66.
And there's only been 3 of them all week, and it's been from the biggest guys.
Yeah, it's been from Cam Young, Scheffler, and Rory. So I don't know what to tell you. So if you're asking me if I think there's anybody outside the top 7 that could shoot a 65 today, the answer is probably no. The answer is probably
yeah. You're right. I think Hao Tong Lee, Scotty Scheffler, that grouping that tees off at, I believe, 152.
Yeah, the top 8 I think is set.
Yep. Your winner's coming from there.
Unless we have a lot of unless this course eats a lot of people up, and people are bogeying left and right, really collapsing, and you get 3-4 guys. All of a sudden, Cam Young, Rory McIlroy, Sam Burns don't have great starts, and all of a sudden everybody's 8 under, then we could have a conversation. But until that point, if this is going to hang around that 10, 11, 12 mark for the most part, you can't expect the Patrick Cantleys of the world to have the 65 after shooting a 66 yesterday.
I think your winner today is shooting a final score of 14 under. I think one of those guys can shoot 69 at the top, and I think Shane Lowry can.
That's your number today,
score
14?
14. I think someone's got to get to 14 today, which means Scotty Scheffler has to shoot another 65.
Which is doable. You can't tell me that's not possible.
Exactly. I think 14 under is your number today. That's a 5 under 67 from Shane Lowry,
and
who shot 68 yesterday.
The prospect of Scheffler can get people nervous, too. If he and
and
he tees off full 30 minutes before these guys get started. If Scotty Scheffler birdies his first 2, then everybody's gonna get a little nervous.
100%.
Scotty on the final day.
100%.
Guys won this twice. So just hearing that, I think I'm not gonna say like he doesn't strike fear into his opponents, but him being there makes people under the impression we can't screw up. Margin of error just got a lot slimmer if Scotty's around. So
now let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
You are the master of scheduling and planning. If you're a patron there at Augusta, how are you planning out your day?
Okay, good question. First of all, I wouldn't go if I was a patron
Okay.
on the Master Sunday. I know it sounds great, but geez, if you want to see there's 4 twosomes you got to watch?
Can we both agree that golf is the ultimate television sport?
Ultimate television sport. There's 4 twosomes you got to watch. What's your plan if that's how you do it? I mean, the only way I could really see it, and I wouldn't follow a grouping. I wouldn't, because Cam Young, Rory McIlroy, I figured like if you're gonna follow people all day, you're not gonna get spots.
Yeah.
There's just too many people there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get spots to see the actual shots.
So
you got to strategically place yourself. Listen, I haven't been to many Sundays of major golf tournaments with thousands of people there, but what I can say is I probably would park somewhere in the first 3 holes on a green, and I'd make sure that I catch an important hole at the finish. I mean, maybe that could be, the 3rd hole. Maybe that could be 2. It could be the par 3 on 4. Any of those in a good par 3 on 4 is actually a good spot because you could probably get 2 good shots there. You could see, and you could definitely see the tee. So if I were to park there, see all 4 of the top groupings go by, and then catch up to them maybe somewhere. If I don't care about what hole I'm at, if I care about seeing everybody, I wouldn't hate going to maybe 7 or 9 or something like that. I would not go to a second par 3, and then I would make sure that I'm at in terms of the second 9, I'd make sure I'm at 1 of 10 or 11 immediately, because you got to be at 1 of 10 or 11.
Well, so what I would do is I would stand behind the tee box of 12 because you can look over to the left and see the green of 11. You guys know, how that kind of layout works. You can see all of those things at one time. So if I 100% agree with you, I'm hitting one of those first 3 holes, probably the green of 2.
You got to hit
the par 5.
You got to hit a green of something.
You got to hit the green of 2, and then I'm running over to the tee box of 12 so I can see tee boxes on Amen Corner as well as those guys coming in on 11, 2 of the crucial holes. As soon as the leaders are gone on 12 and they've got 6 holes left, I'm booking it out of there. That way I can go find a TV for the last 3 holes.
Right.
No, you do not fight anybody on 16 and beyond.
Right.
Because everyone's going to be there.
Not enough space on 18 either, so
Nope.
it's not. So it's just not worth it there. 16 definitely not enough space. So I agree with that. I don't hate it. You got to think 2-3 holes and then go find someone to watch it. And important holes. You got to think holes where somebody's got to score. That's going to be important. Yep. Somebody's got to score. And I don't know what it's like with the scoreboards. I don't know where exactly they're located in reference to the actual course. So
that's another great one.
You got to keep that in mind. You got to see you got to know what's going on in terms of scoring.
Yep.
And then getting to that spot. You can't just necessarily ingest it and then try to match it up where everybody else is. But the good news is if you play your cards right, you could see at least guys going through and what their scores are, and then you could sort of make mental notes when the leaders finally come through. Difficult day to plan. I would not. I pity anybody who's actually there, and it sounds crazy to say. This is the type of thing you got to watch on TV. This is the type of event you got to watch on TV. There's 8 golfers you got to watch, at least. So because of that, you want to see every shot. You want to see Nance, you got to listen to every single play. I think that's why it's important to watch this on television. Cade Chumson, Colin Russo, Sunday Huddle, presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3. You got that. You get the last day of the NBA regular season. Sinner just took a tiebreak over Alcaraz at 7-5, and Sinner just took the first game against Alcaraz in Monte Carlo at that final. He's got a 51-game win streak when he takes the first set, so little action there. Cade Chumson, Colin Russo on the other side of things. We'll make a couple picks. Let's make a couple sleepers. We'll put together a little bit of a parlay action. We'll have some fun. We'll blitz the book with Hard Rock Bet. On the other side of things, it's Sunday Huddle presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
One of the hardest things about being sidelined was not knowing how long it would take for me to get back on the ice. The pain, the doubt, it was tough. The incredible medical team at Baptist Health was always there for me. Their dedication and expertise kept me focused and kept me motivated. That helped me step back on the ice with confidence. I'm Matthew Tkachuk, winger for the two-time champion Florida Panthers. And there's one thing I've learned: don't stop. Because an injury can take you out of the game, but Baptist Health, our official sports medicine provider, puts you back in.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Joseph Malloy, tax partner in Anshin's Construction Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also known as the OBBBA, will have a significant impact on tax planning strategies. The bill restores and makes permanent 100% bonus depreciation for all eligible purchases made after January 19, 2025. This tax incentive will influence investments in additional machinery and equipment upgrades, providing an immediate tax deduction and helping contractors increase cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide construction companies through the new tax law to help them develop the right strategy and enhance profitability. If you're a construction executive or owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
At Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium this season, every Palm Beach Cardinals Saturday home game, they become the Palm Beach Frozen Iguanas. For 12 Saturday games, we're breaking the ice with the special Frozen Iguanas Ice Cold 12-pack ticket package for just $99, which includes a ticket to all Frozen Iguanas games, a guaranteed Bobbletail giveaway, merchandise discount, commemorative green baseball, and more. RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com. Join the cold front today.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
inside right, 24 double Puma on one. Replay.
This is Sunday Huddle with Colin Russo, presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Speaking of Hard Rock Bet, if you download it now, you can still get in on the Masters action on Masters Sunday. You can still get in on Sinner Alcaraz at Monte Carlo going on. You still can get in on the NBA postseason and the NBA regular season. You got all this action in one spot. Any game, any league, any time. If you download it today and refer a friend, get $50 in bonus bets immediately deposited into your account. It is that easy. You get so much sports going on here in the next couple of weeks here, and you're going to want to stay on top of things, and you can do it on Hard Rock Bet. Go download it today on the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, and take advantage of all these promos. If you don't even know what to bet, don't even know what to pick, you could go to the Discover page and see what other users are putting together in terms of their parlays and their prop picks, and you could tag along on them. It's that easy. Go try it today. It's Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. You think this would be a better or worse Masters Sunday than last year?
Better, because I think the final group plays better. Last year was kind of rough because you had DeChambeau who got out early, and then Rory was just kind of surviving by the end. The biggest shot last year, according to everyone, was his 15th shot, or his shot on 15 to hit the green. Then he missed his putt and just made birdie. That was the biggest shot. The biggest shot this year is going to be on 16 and beyond, unless something crazy happens on 12 like it did in 2019.
We talked about the guys we'd want. If there's 8 guys that could sort of have a chance to win it, and we'd like to have 4 in the mix at the end, how many do you realistically think at the end, within the last 3 holes, will be within a shot of the lead?
3.
3. I could listen to that. I could get behind that, too. I could listen to that. No problem.
You wanna give someone else something that young. I mean, if
2 leaders and external pressure.
That would be ideal. Yeah, that would be ideal. If it's just Young and Rory, though, to be honest, if they're both playing well, that's the thing. You don't want the rest of the field to just fall off and play like even par. You want Rory. If you got Rory and Cameron, who are both shooting like 5-6 under today, and they're going into 18 tied up, and nobody else is close, that's also fine with me. If it's that final pairing. But ideally, yes, you would love someone else to make a run to give them a little bit of pressure.
Let's blitz the book, figure out what bets we're going to take. Let's do it with Hard Rock Bet. All right, Cade, blitz the book, Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3. All right, let's figure this out because there's a couple things we're going to have to do here. Masters, to win it all, here's the odds that you have entering into the final round on Sunday. Rory is plus 160 to be the winner. Cam Young is plus 230 to be the winner. Sam Burns plus 600. Scotty Scheffler has got the 4th best odds at plus 900 despite being 7 under. Shane Lowry plus 1,200. Justin Rose plus 1,400. And Jason Day plus 2,500. Those are your main culprits on the Hard Rock Bet app. Cade, in terms of value pick, is there anything that sort of piques your interest?
I mean, I said I like Jason Day. I think 2,500 is great. I think Justin Rose at plus 1,400 is great.
That's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Justin Rose
Either
plus
of those two at that 8 under mark are great. I wish Rory's was a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous odd. I'm not doing that. For a guy who's doesn't have a 4-stroke lead, I mean, that's ridiculous.
I think Scotty's just nuts being the 4th lowest odds at 7 or 4 strokes back.
Being 4 strokes back, yeah.
That's insanity.
I agree with that.
Like I said before, I think you got to get someone who can get to 14 under. Sam Burns, I actually think, is a little too low as well. I wish he was at the plus 1,000 because then he would be good. I think Shane, Justin, or Jason. I think 1,200, 1,400, 2,500. I think those are your best odds.
I'd agree with that. And, they have top 5 finishes, top 10 finishes, top 20 finishes, and the winner on Hard Rock Bet. You can do on the matchups and who's going to win matchups, who's going to win grouping, the nationality.
Can we parlay these? Like if we win, let's just say Cameron Young is a winner.
With a couple top 5s?
Yeah. Can we choose a top 5 for ourselves?
So, for example, yes, you can. I could parlay Scotty Scheffler to finish in top 5 with Cam Young to win at plus 230. Yes, you can. Wow. All right. So, who's going to be your winner pick? We'll make these separately, obviously.
So, I'm going to be completely honest. I actually do think Rory's got it. I think he plays up to the competition today. I think Cameron Young pushes him, and I think Rory actually gets it done. So, I'll take Rory as my winner. I want to cheer for good competition today, and I've got some underdogs that I'd like to see make a run at it, like Justin and Jason. But if you actually had to force me to say who's going to win the tournament, I actually do think Rory gets it done. But I will put Justin and Jason both in the top 5, and I can parlay all of that for plus 1437. And I think that is a decent bet.
I'm going to go Captain America. Cam Young. Sign me up for the storyboard ending of him. We need Cam Young to take down Rory. Top 5 finishes, I think Scheffler's a good one at minus 105 to just parlay it all together. And if I were to add another one, I would do Justin Rose at plus 115. All of a sudden, you get a plus 1,300 parlay on the app for Cam Young to win, Scotty Scheffler to finish top 5, and Justin Rose to finish top 5. Rounding out, granted, I'm betting on 3 of the top 5 finishers, but Rose plays well at this event. So does Scheffler. So I'm rooting on a little bit of experience today on that final round. And Justin Rose and Scotty Scheffler are both in a peculiar spot where you almost forget about them. We know he's there. You see him. But the story is around the Cam Youngs, Rorys of the world. There's something to that, having that no pressure, playing with house money. Scotty Scheffler and Justin Rose disappear after the first 6 holes today. Nobody's really going to bat an eye. But if they're in the mix, all of a sudden they birdie 3 of the first 7, nobody's going to be surprised either. So they're playing with house money, and because of that, I think that would be a favorable parlay pick if I were to have some fun with that. So, Masters Sunday, geez, should be good. And we got a couple hours until it starts. Do you plan your day around being ready to rock and roll? When will you be shot for shot watching alongside the broadcast?
I'll be shot for shot. I like to be by 1:30.
Yeah.
Which would be who?
I was going to say, that's Patrick Wade and Morikawa.
Top 10s.
I was going to say Cantley and Henley, I'm going to watch them on 1. I'll make sure I watch that on 1.
Yep.
So that's at 1:41. Because you want to be in the mix and warmed up when Scheffler goes off. So that's what I would say. I don't know if I'll be on top of it when Reed and Morikawa go at 1:30, but you got a couple hours here where you got to figure things out. You know, a couple errands you need to run. You gotta.
Get all your stuff done. I'm sticking around here at the office for a few more hours to knock out the rest of my stuff because I just want to go home and, like, that is nothing else. That is nothing else for the rest of the day. This was always fun when I was in high school because I'm the only golfer in my family, and none of the rest of my family loved watching golf. They would because I liked it, but Masters Sunday was like the one day I had the TV, and I had the couch, I had the TV, and we just all watched it because it was the biggest day in golf, and those were some historic final Sundays that we got to watch together. Hopefully, we got another one today.
Yeah, a couple things to watch too. I mean, if you're Colin Russo's of the world. The Nets are 20-61. The number to over-under was 20.5.
Yeah.
They had 3 games to hit this. They've went 0-2. They've gotten blown out in both games. I needed to pull some heroics.
Correct.
To beat the Raptors on
you
the road
had, what,
today.
4 over-unders that you how many of those have already hit?
So what I did take, I took the Raptors over, and I hit that about 3 weeks ago. So I did that. I actually took the Trailblazer under. I got burned on that by about 3 games. And I took the Mavericks over. So I need this to go 500.
Wow.
So if I don't, then I go 1-3, which I would not be happy about because I'm usually very good in the NBA. Brooklyn Nets 20.5. I mean, here's the bottom line. Here's what and you know what the worst part is? The Raptors need the game. They need the game.
Correct.
They need the game because if they lose, they're in the play-in. They're in the play-in. So it's going to be a tall task.
It's a tough one.
It's going to be a tall task. Now, and another problem is the Magic are playing the Celtics, and the Celtics don't need the game. So these odds makers are wizards at putting together these over-unders. You telling me Nets Magic? At the Nets Raptors with the Magic Celtics at the end of the year is going to decide my over-under? Come on, that's ridiculous. Bad NBA season for me. Jeez. That's so annoying. I'm a little annoyed by that.
I'm just letting you soak in this moment.
They're both 45 and 36. I took the Raptors over. It was a great over. You're telling me that the Brooklyn Nets, who are 20-61, who finished their season losing to the Pacers, who are tanking by 31 points, they're tanking. The Bucks, it's Alex Antetokounmpo and the other Antetokounmpo. You're telling me that you can lose to them by 17? That's ridiculous.
The Nets have the worst scoring offense in the entire NBA. I'm looking at the
They
stats
haven't
right
not
now.
been great. I knew this. The reason I took 20 and a half is not because I thought they were going to win 40. I thought they were going to win 24. Let's think about this for a second. Their end of the season, I needed 4 wins in their last 8 games. They needed 4 wins. And the games were against the Kings, the Hornets, the Hawks, the Wizards, the Bucks, the Pacers, the Bucks, and the Raptors.
Just the worst teams in the NBA.
They're some of the worst teams in the NBA. 4 of the worst teams in the NBA. I need some heroics. Jordi Fernandez, if you're listening, head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, get it done. Get it done because they know. They know their number is 20 and a half. They know it. Get them to play hard. Appreciate Kate Chumsley keeping us up over the airwaves today. Enjoy your Masters Sunday. Sinner Alcaraz going on right now. Sinner trying to break Alcaraz in the 4th game of the 2nd set. 2-1 Alcaraz currently, but Sinner's got an advantage. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you during our local programming. Enjoy the golf. Enjoy the sports. See you next time at Sunday Huddle, presented by Hard Rock Bet on ESPN 106.3.
The preceding program was paid for in full by Hard Rock Bet. Advice and opinions expressed during this program were solely those of the guests or hosts of this program and not of ESPN 106.3 or Good Karma Brands.
Being a homeowner like me means knowing who to call. For power, you called an electrician. Pipes, a plumber. And for better water, you call Culligan. They've been improving water for 90 years with local experts handling everything from water softening to filtration.